Ladies, gentlemen, welcome back. And today, we now have the Cavalry tier list. We're going to go through all of these. I was going to do the range one, but I hear the mastery for the Imperial Arquebusiers, the Imperial guns, and the Krieg rats coming out at some point soon. So we'll leave that list for a little bit. So we'll go for the Cavalry list now. And now I won't remember 100% of these cavalry names. I'll probably get the green ones wrong. Yeah. So, yeah, and again, like the other ones, this is my list, my opinion. You'll probably have a different opinion to me on a lot of these. But luckily, this is a lot smaller pool of units. So, also, it won't take as long. So, let's get into it. So, here we go. They're a bit scattered up, but we will focus on the greens to start off with, then we'll pick out the purples, and we will go from there. So we're starting off with the scouts, the sword cavalry scouts. We're going to put these in D. The use for them is very minimal, but what I'd say the only time that these would be worthwhile is potentially start of a game. If you're on defense, you could have a bit of fun, open the gates and just X them around to kill peasants. But I'm pretty sure they'll be taken down by someone on a Howatcher or something really, really quickly. So kind of pointless. Following on, Iron Cap Bow Riders. We're putting them in a D. They're fun, like as a meme unit, but you just won't do anything. There's obviously a lot of doctrines for bow riders. It's just a shame we don't have any that are good. Although saying that, I don't know if I would want to have good ones because it would just be so annoying. You see how annoying Outriders already are when they're going. So having an actually good bow cavalry would be, I think, would get really annoying. Moving on, Courtiers. Courtiers are gonna go in A tier. They do so much damage for their tier. Granted, you probably won't be using these once tier 5s are out, but when it's blue lock, these guys are just so solid. They are literally the Winged Hussars. Spoiler alert: Winged Hussars of the sort of blue lock. So for the leadership value, they're the best you're getting out of a green. They're the best you're getting. Moving on, we move on to the blues. Now I forget the name of these, Corchins or something like that. Corkins. We're going to put these in a C. I did use them very briefly I can't remember what the event was, All or Nothing potentially, something like that. They were given to me and I didn't have a choice. Got a few kills, but again, bow cavalry not really worth it. Kind of fallen off, just never really was good. Moving on to Salamcheds. Salamcheds, I'm going to put in probably the head of C. They do a lot of damage. You know, they're meant to be like mini Keshigs. They do a lot of damage, but they also have 0 health. They are so squishy that basically any unit can kill these. If they get stuck somewhere, they're insta-dead. It's if you can even get a charge off with them, you know, you've done a good job. So we are going to put those boys in C. People might have a problem with them being in C, but I just don't see the value. For the leadership, you could take a nice infantry unit that would do far more. Or for less leadership, you could take Courtiers that are tankier. There's more of them, and they do better. Actually, is there more of them? Maybe no. I think the Slamcher's got an update that they have more units now potentially. But go for the Courtiers over the Slamcheds because they do about the same damage, except their charge is just better. Okay, is that all for the blues? No, it's not. For the tier, obviously, Outriders. I would put them in S, but I'm gonna not put them in S. They are S tier, obviously, when the blue season, the blue locks out. They're very good, and they sort of maintain their how good they are throughout. It's just there's a lot more stuff that can like throw at them, a lot more jabs that can just insta-take them down. If you got some jav sergeants and you see some outriders, you can just throw at them and basically you'll wipe them out in 2 throws. So they have that sort of weakness, but they are still a really solid unit for the leadership to roam and just really, really annoy people. So outriders looking good still. Moving on to the Armadure Lancers. We're going to pop these in B. The Armadure Lancers in PvP, obviously with all cav, it can go well, but they just feel very squishy. Their damage is super low. They're quite good to roam around. If you can roam around the back and get some archers and stuff, then maybe that's worthwhile. But what they're really good at is PvE. So bandit raids, they're a really good secondary unit to use for bandit raids. You got the charge, you can roam with them. It's very easy to pick up kills. So like it's kind of a top tier PvE unit. But PvP, it can work. It's just there's better options for basically the same leadership. So we're going to put it in B because it does have good PvE capability. But saying that, there is a better PvE option nowadays. Right, moving on. Stompy Cav. Stompy Cav is going in D. I was thinking C, but it's for how much leadership it costs. It's not worth it. If they were sitting at like 200 leadership, maybe like less, then the Stompy Cav would probably be okay. Probably be an alright one, but they're like 245 leadership, I think. Unless that's been lowered, I can't really remember, but it's nonetheless don't get it. It's going in D. Just doesn't do anything worthwhile, and as I said, better options. Moving on, we're going to pick up the Prefecture Heavy Cav, and we're going to put that in the B. I'm going to put that ahead of there. Prefecture Heavy Cavalry, very good for Xing around. The only way you should play this is exit. Never charge it. Just exit around the battlefield. And you can surprise a lot of people. They're so fast. You can come round the back, and if they've got archers or something like that, really good at mopping everything up. But very squishy. Very squishy. You run into the wrong... They're very fast, so they can get stuck on things easily. And if you actually run to near halberdiers or anything, they're going to insta-die. They're going to insta-die to that. So, kind of niche, but still usable and good fun. Like, it's one of those units that I would say, if you're just looking for a fun game, then, that's one to go for. That is just something different. So next, we'll go for Yeoman. We're going to move Yeoman into C. They're just a kind of a worse version of Armadure Lancers. There's not really much point to taking them. I don't actually know anyone that's got these max leveled because a lot of us traded them in for back when they were the downgrade to Armadure Lancers. You used to just have a max level and you just like upgrade it to Armadure Lancers. So again, if you've got them maxed out, you probably can do a good charge with it, but you might as well just have Armadure Lancers because then you have the capability to roam. That's nice. Next, we're going to go for Camel. Camel is going in A tier. As an anti-cav, it would probably... it could probably go S tier, but problem is there's only 12 of them. I would like to see camels get to a 15 head count instead of 12. The anti-cav capability, obviously very good, but there is a lot of moments where they just suddenly will get killed by infantry coming around the corner or stuff like that. So kind of almost a bit niche in terms of like you need to make sure it's going to be cav everywhere, and if it is cav everywhere, then great, there you're doing a good job. But they can be a bit annoying when you pull them out and then either no cav or there's one cav around and they can avoid you and they can just go out. I would put these in S, but I'm going to put them in A just because I think you just still don't see that many of them because even with the amount of cav, because people will just go for Imperial Pikes, Halberdiers, Forte that sort of thing, because there's a lot more unit count, where 12, you just feel like you lose a few, and then you're feeling a bit stuffed with how capable your unit is. So we're going to put that in A, but a high A. It's a high A. They're very good, and they're fun to play. Moving on to the Dagger Axe Lancers, and now they are going in S. Dagger Axe Lancers are your best tier 4 by a long shot. Yeah, really, really good. If you're looking for a cav to get, and you can get them from the honor tree, Dagger Axe Lancers, go for it. They are your boys. They're your main cav that you want to use. Really good value. In fact, you got 2 charges. You can charge them straight down and then bring them back to you, or like run in front of them, jump over the shield wall or whatever, and then pull them through. It's really nice. It's really, really nice. And then I forget what these guys are called, but I'm going to pop them down in D because they're half range and half melee cav, and you don't see them. They don't work. Moving on, we have the fire lancers. Now I saw some of these the other day come around the corner, and it reminded, like, they lit everybody up, but I don't think they killed many, but it was quite cool to see how many pellets came out of these boys when they came around the corner. But I'm going to put them in B. No, in fact, I'm going to put them in C. It's very niche. It's similar to like how with the Perfection Cav, I'd say if you just want a bit of fun, you can do this. But the likelihood that you've got these guys at level 30 and you want to waste that much time and experience to do that, just to have a little bit of fun shotgunning, you're probably not going to do it. But I see, when I've seen people use them, it does look quite fun. And I've got mine to 17 now. I'm just going to keep leveling them because why not? It could be fun. But nonetheless, in comparison to other things on this list, it's going to be a C. In fact, we're going to put it at the head of C, though. It's not useless. Well, it's kind of useless, but it's a bit of fun. That's what we're going to say with that one. Moving on, we'll go for the Liao Rangers. Liao Rangers, I'm going to put in B. I think Liao Rangers have fallen off massively in comparison to a lot here. Obviously, they're better than their counterpart, that would be the Fire Lancers, but they're good, but like YOLO Cav is tankier than them, has more health, and will just do more, and is easier to use. So, yeah, people might have a problem with that, but I just don't think, whenever I see them, I don't think you got your value out of those at all. So, yeah, unfortunately, our Rangers going in B. We will go for Keshigs next. Keshigs also going to go in B. Yeah, it's... They obviously can still kill heroes. All of these guys are going to be really good at killing heroes, and they will kill small engagements and stuff, but just in comparison to these other cav, they're just not as good. They're just not as good. Oh, and I just forgot. We have another purple, obviously, to add, that I had forgotten to put in here. That is the Kriegsbründers. We'll go back to the tier 5s in a second. But the Kriegsbründers, we are going to put in A. I think the Kriegsbründers, they're good if you use them properly. Very fast. Got a little heal to them, but I don't think they're quite S tier. They're not quite Dagger Axe Lancers. So, yeah, just want to make sure I didn't forget to put those in. So, yeah, A tier for the Kriegsbründers. Very nice, but kind of you gotta use them properly, understand how they play. And we'll get back to the tier 5s. Next tier 5, Rattan Marksman. We're going to put that in C. I think it's basically useless at the moment. Fun to play, similar to like the Fire Lancers, but a lot of shields about. Your best bet to use that is as an anti-cav. You just roam after cav and just try and pepper them, but it's probably not going to go well for you. Moving on, the Cataphracts Lancers, we're going to put those in A. Don't really get used because Dagrax Lancers just do more damage and are better. But you do sometimes still see them, and they are good. Like, there's nothing wrong with them whatsoever. They will do what you want. Very similar to, like, the Dagrax Lancers, but for the value, Dagrax Lancers are just better. So, but they're still good, and they still work well. So, putting them in A. Next on the list, YOLO Cav. YOLO Cav is going in S tier. Not quite as dominant as it was last season, but still ridiculously good. Sends people flying. Yeah, does a lot of damage. So it's still going in S, but it's not quite the game breaker that it was before because we have a new one. But yes, so S tier still for YOLO Cav, but not quite as S tier as it was before. The Monastic Knights. Monastic Knights, we're going to pop in A tier. They're going to go in A. Very good. The only issue is I think they need a larger head count. Because there's just other cav here that does the same amount of damage but has a higher head count, and I also think they need to be slightly tankier, but nonetheless they are really, really good. It's kind of a choice between two on this list that you could go for, but there's definitely an outlier to the two. But Monastic Knights, A tier, really quite good. Yeah, what can I say? Big knights on horses, long charge, tanky. Chevaliers are going to go in B. I think Chevaliers definitely are good in certain situations, and they're probably more of an A, end of A, head of B. But yeah, if they're used badly or if something goes wrong, it goes catastrophically wrong. And most of the time, you try and click your ability that kind of gets the crossbows to shoot really quickly, and your guys go into combat. And if you lose all your chevaliers or the horses, then you can't control your crossbows. So yeah, I mean, you can get high value from them. You can have some really good games with them, but they can be fiddly, and it can go wrong quite quickly. So yeah, and then last but not least, Winged Hussar is number 1. Winged Hussar, so good, ridiculous at the moment, that actually we might be able to show you right now.
Armor! Units, assemble! Close your armor! Attack! Destroy them! On these wings we
about to capture the final flag.
So yeah, you can see you just charge them and they just go mad. It's a really dominant one at the moment, really dominant, but nonetheless very good, very, very good, and I'm enjoying it. I like the fact that the top tier cav is actually, like, you charge it, so you have to have a little bit of cav kind of knowledge and a little bit of savvy of where your cav's going to go and can they make it out and stuff like that, instead of just charging it up and flicking like you did with YOLO Cav last season. It feels slightly more skilled, but of course getting run over and getting hit for like 15k it's an insta one shot basically if you get hit by them. But there you go. So yeah, there we have it. That's my list. I'm quite pleased with this one. Nothing I would really change. So yeah, let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.